what's going on everyone, welcome to this HeyTechi video. My name is Stephen, and here on the channel we're interested in everything to do with the Apple smart home. Every Sunday I post new videos covering HomeKit and Siri shortcut content, all of the latest news, and tips and tricks about how to get the most out of your smart home products. If that sounds like the kind of thing that you're interested in, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. The HeyTechi community is constantly expanding and we want to build the best HomeKit community on YouTube. If you want to be part of that, please consider subscribing. In this video I'm going to be reviewing the Meross MS110 Wi-Fi Smart Plug Mini. Now this plug has previously existed as a bulkier model, but the mini version has now become the new standard and it is a lot smaller than its predecessor. The smart plug comes from one of the big hitting manufacturers of smart home products, so I'm expecting big things from it. A single plug currently retails at $19.99 on Amazon, and so is it still worth the money, and what can you do with it? So without further ado, let's get this box open and find out what's inside. As a full disclaimer, I want to say thank you to Meross for sending this sample products for me to review. As is the case with all of my reviews, I will give you my full, honest and unbiased opinion on a product, and that includes if it has been provided for free by the company. You can't put a price on trust, and honesty and transparency are at the core of what I do here. That's why I'm always open and honest about where I get my products and about my experiences with them, so that you, my viewers, can make the most informed choice when buying your next smart home device. So when I received this package, I was actually quite surprised about how small and minimalistic it is. The plug comes in a small cardboard box, which simply contains the plug and some associated paperwork. Everything here is recyclable, and that's really positive in my opinion, and I like to see companies taking obligations to the environment seriously. On the front of the box you can see nice and clearly here that the plug works not only with Apple HomeKit, but also with Amazon and Google smart home ecosystems. On the back of the box there are the technical specifications, and that tells us that the maximum load of the plug is 13 amps, which is pretty good for a smart plug. It also tells us that you need to have a smartphone running iOS 13 or higher if you use an iPhone, or if you're an Android user 4.1 or higher. You also need to make sure that your Wi-Fi supports a 2.4 GHz frequency, and again that is pretty standard for most smart home products, so you probably know what you're doing here already, it's just good for you to know. The box also gives us the contact details for Meross, and it comes with a 2-year warranty, which is really good to have. Meross do acknowledge though on the user manual inside the product that you must have purchased the product directly from Meross or one of its authorised retailers to take advantage of that guarantee though. Another small detail that I really appreciate is the fact that Meross have included a QR code sticker inside the box, which brings you straight to a troubleshooting guide if you're having any setup problems. And I think that's really good customer service. Inside the box itself, you find the smart plug as well as a quick start guide. There's also a little pamphlet entitled 7 Things You Need to Know About HomeKit, which seems to be a standard thing to include with all Meross products. Speaking of other Meross products, I've previously reviewed their LED light strip, which I bought with my own money, so if you're interested in checking that video out, you can click the link above to have a look at that video as well. So now the box is open, let's have a look at the plug. The plug measures approximately 2.4 inches by 2 inches by 1.3 inches, and that makes it pretty compact for a smart plug. What's also really positive about that is that if you want to plug this into a power strip, it's small enough to be able to plug in beside other plugs in the adjoining sockets, and this is something that I've found difficult with other smart plugs. The plug is only available in white and is for indoor use only. The specific edition that I'm reviewing here is the UK plug. This plug is available in EU and US forms as well, but their physical measurements are a little bit different, so make sure to check what plug it is that you want. Here on the front of the plug is obviously where you plug in whatever it is you want to connect to your smart plug. and this little pinhole in the top right is actually an LED, which can indicate the status of the plug itself. On the left hand side, there is a manual power button, so if you don't want to use the smart controls, you can still physically turn this plug on or off using this button. And what is quite interesting is that when you press the button, you can physically hear the plug turning on or off with a soft little click. Finally then, on the right hand side of the plug is the HomeKit QR code, which you'll need for setup. All in all, it's a simple, minimalistic, but nicely designed smart plug that feels well built. As you might expect for a product that supports HomeKit, the setup process is pretty straightforward. The paperwork inside the box tells you should install the Meross app, but for us HomeKit users, that's actually not essential, as you can simply add the product directly to the Apple Home app. Of course, if you want to use this with Amazon or Google, you will need to follow the user manual's instructions. To connect it up to HomeKit, first of all you'll need to plug it into a power source. Once you've connected it to the power, scan the QR code on the right hand side of the plug, and HomeKit will do the rest. In total, I'd say the setup process takes no more than 1 minute to 1.5 minutes to do in total, and having set the plug up 10 times to test it out for this video, I haven't encountered any problems when setting it up, so that's a really big thumbs up from that point of view. As with all other HomeKit accessories, once the device is added, it will also give you the choice of renaming it and adding a customized icon if you so wish. So, because I typically use this plug with my fan, I'm going to choose the little fan icon here, and it's nice to see that in HomeKit as well. For whatever reason, if you do need to factory reset this plug, whilst it's plugged in, simply hold the power button on the side for 5 seconds, and when the LED flashes quickly, you'll know it's reset successfully. One more nice thing to note as well is that you don't need to download the Meross app to automatically update the plug. The plug will automatically update itself using HomeKit. So if you're a HomeKit user and you don't want to have more and more apps on your phone, that's a nice little bonus too. So that's the plug set up, but how does this plug perform? I've been experimenting with the plug now for about 2 weeks, and I'd say it's pretty good. I found the experience when using the plug when using the Apple Home app to be absolutely excellent. I found the plug to be responsive to commands, and it does exactly what I expect it to do. On the Apple Watch, of course, the response time is a little slower, but that's not unusual with using the Apple Watch in your smart home experience. Having said that, it's still nice to have control of it. One problem I have experienced with the Meross smart plug though is that I've had some connectivity issues to Wi-Fi, and that has been reflected in my experience when using the HomePod. Now that's important, so let me explain this. If you download and load up the Meross app, even if you've added this plug to HomeKit, you'll be able to add the smart plug mini to that setup on the Meross app as well. When it's added, you'll get a little icon that you can click on which gives you more details about the plug, and in more detail than it is available through HomeKit. One thing I have noticed when doing this is that the Wi-Fi antennas for this plug aren't as good as I had hoped. Now for sure, Wi-Fi performance can vary house by house. If you're in a modern property with thin walls that is designed for Wi-Fi signals, I don't think you're going to have any problems here using this in your home. However, I live in an early 19th century house that has thick brick walls, and when I use this plug, I need to use it quite close to the Wi-Fi router, otherwise I suffer from poor signal. Even just one room away, the Wi-Fi signal can drop well below 50%, which is quite disappointing. For the sake of comparison, I've also been experimenting with my Eve Energy smart plug and some of my IKEA home smart plugs, and to be honest, their performance has been better using the same distance. Having said that though, when the Meross plug has been assured of a good, strong Wi-Fi connection, it's performed flawlessly. Except for the occasional signal issue, I've experienced no problems at all. And the plug has performed well using schedules on HomeKit and has integrated nicely in with my automations. And I guess that brings me to my final overall recommendation on this. if you have good Wi-Fi coverage in your home, I can't see why you wouldn't want one of these for your smart home setup. Even though UK consumers seem to be overcharged for the product, it is still quite cheap compared to others that we have available, currently being under £20. And it doesn't require any additional gateway hubs or hardware to work like the IKEA smart plugs do, and in my opinion that's a major positive. Yet, whilst the Eve plug offers a lot more features and functionality, it's over double the price and it's enormous. It takes up a whole outlet to itself, whereas the Meross Mini here can plug in really nicely to any setup, and that is an enormous bonus that you can't ignore. At the end of the day, the purpose of a smart plug is to turn a device on and off as required. And this plug does that very, very well, provided that the conditions are right. So there you have it folks, that's my review of the new Meross Smart Wi-Fi Plug Mini, and my thanks again to Meross for sending this out to me. What do you think of it? Even with the Wi-Fi antenna concerns, would you consider picking one up? Or do you already have a favourite smart plug? If you do, let me know in the comments down below. I always love to hear what you think. If you're still here, thank you very much for watching. If you've not already done so, make sure to leave a like and comment on the video so the YouTube algorithm knows this is a good video that more people should see. And of course, if you haven't done so already, subscribe. We're nearly at our goal of 1,000 subscribers, which is a huge achievement, and we'll be celebrating in style with a giveaway when we get there. It'll be open to all of my subscribers, so if you want a chance of winning, make sure you've subscribed. While you're at it, don't forget to follow us on our social media pages, Instagram, Twitter and Facebook at HeyTechi, and I'll see you in the next one. Until next time then, I've been Stephen for HeyTechi.